A huge letdown. This is how civil society movements have described the conclusion of the Nulane procurement fraud case. 8 accused were discharged by the Free State High Court after the state failed to present credible evidence. Former heads of the Free State Agriculture Department, Peter Tabete, Dr. Dimakatso Morosi, Sipati Dlamini, Gupta associate Iqbal Sharma, his brother-in-law Dinesh Patel, and another Gupta associate Ronika Raghavan, together with 2 companies, Nulane Investment and Island Site Investment, were set free by the High Court. Corruption Watch and Organization Undoing Tax Abuse say this has cast doubt on the state's ability to successfully prosecute the remaining cases that emanate from the state capture inquiry. They say this was an easy case to prosecute, and the state's failure places uncertainty in the minds of South Africans that they can stop corruption.
We're still living in an era of state capture, where those fundamentally responsible for this treason, whether it be former President Zuma or the Gupta brothers, remain unaccountable, facing no consequences for their misdeeds. It remains to be seen what this discharge and the failure to extradite the Guptas will mean for the remaining cases. The NPA cannot keep telling us that they've got this and everything is in order.
I think there's a message for the NPA, the ID, the SABC. You need to get your house in order. You have an obligation to fight on behalf of each and every South African that finds them in a position where they are victims of crimes. As South Africans, we are victims of state capture, of corruption, and corruption has managed to create a lot of havoc, damage.
In the judgment, the Free State High Court threw missiles at the state's evidence. Judge Nompumelo Lokusha said what the court heard was the ineptitude of the investigators.
No evidence from the Bank of Baroda, National Treasury, and or the Reserve Bank was presented before this court. I have already bemoaned the lackadaisical manner in which this case was investigated and approached. I can therefore not take this aspect any further than I have, save to conclude with the following African proverb, and I quote, "Haste and hurry can only bear children with many regrets along the way." You may rise.
A legal expert says there is little room for the state to ever successfully prosecute the Nulane matter. She says going forward, the state has to ensure that it keeps its case tight and ascertain a conviction on the basis of linking evidence before it prosecutes.
The prospect of success is not going to be successful to the state because it will be a new matter. With a new case, they must come with new facts, with new people, different accused for the matter. But for now, even if they can want to try to go to the route of the law and try to proceed with an appeal, the appeal is going to be dismissed. And they will have to petition the SCA. And once they petition the SCA, their chances of prospect to success is 0.
Even though the Investigating Directorate of the NPA says it has a handle on other cases from the Zondo Commission, civil rights movements say it remains to be seen how the cases are handled. Meanwhile, Judge Gusha bemoaned the inescapable fact that almost 25 million rand of taxpayers' money left the fiscus. Kamogelo Siekwi, SABC News, Bloemfontein.